Good afternoon. My name is JarrettColey, and today I will be giving you insight on ACLs and how they are configured. So for starters, security breaches are becoming an all-time high nowadays. Hackers are easily cracking passwords in order to sneak their way into networks to gather information they are unauthorized to see. So adding any extra layer of security to your network is very important and decreases your chances of getting hacked. So ACLs are also known as access control lists. ACLs are network statements that are used on router interfaces or switch interfaces, and it allows or denies traffic to reach another network. Many people forget what ACLs are, but in order to easily remember what it is, you just think of a stateless firewall and the functional one. The function of a stateless firewall is that the firewall either allows packets to be transmitted to another network or it denies packets to be transmitted to another network, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So there are two types of ACLs, and the first type is a standard ACL. Standard ACL is what most people utilize nowadays because it's the most simplest form of configuring an ACL. Standard ACLs only identify a single destination address. They don't define source addresses. So to configure a standard ACL, first of all, you will get on the device. This example is a switch. You will enter configure terminal, go to configuration mode, and you'll type in access-list. That will give you an ACL to configure. To configure a standard ACL, you type in standard. With all of this on this command line, you can enter space question mark after every word that you enter, and it will guide you to create an ACL, whatever you're creating on your device. But for time purposes, you enter standard. That will give you a standard ACL. But to create the standard ACL, you have to give it a name. And this example is sample-list as the name of the standard ACL. I mean, you can give it any kind of name. It's not rocket science. You don't have to really use a specific name. It's just a name you come up with in your own. After that, you hit enter, and this is where you will enter your deny permit statements. So for this first statement, deny 10.28.150.77 with a wildcard mask of all zeros. So this means that this IP address 10.28.150.77 will be denied to hit this switch once the information comes to this switch. So any information on this IP address, for an example, this IP address could be a host computer. The information from that host computer will not be able to be transmitted into the switch. And all zeros means that all bits match up, so this whole entire IP address cannot be transmitted to this switch. This statement is a permit statement. Permit 10.28.151 with the all zeros and the 255 wildcard mask. So this means that these first three zeros means that 10.28.150, any IP address that starts with 10.28.150 will be permitted to reach this switch with this information. An extended ACL is more complex. They can utilize IPv4 addressing and IPv6 addressing. They can also utilize protocol information such as TCP and UDP. So for this example, first of all, for extended ACL, you can use port numbers or you can use keywords for an extended ACL. So at the end, you see right here, this is uses a port number of 23. Down here, you use telnet. Telnet belongs on port 23, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. Both of them are the same. It just whichever way is easier for you. So same thing for extended ACL. You start off with access-list, and you give it a number. And extended ACL numbers are 101 through 119, and this number is 114. It fits the range of 101 through 119, so that makes it an extended ACL. Next, you will either use permit or deny, whichever statement you're going to use. Your protocol, this protocol, for example, is TCP. Then your IP address that you're going to configure, 192.168.20.0 with the wildcard mask of all zeros and a 255. So that means any IP address that starts with 192.168.20, because these first three bits are zeros. 192.168.20, any IP address that starts with those first three bits will be allowed to reach whatever device this is being configured on, and it doesn't really say what device is configured on, but anyways, this any stands for whatever any IP address that starts with these first three bits, and the 23 is the port number. Down here you just telnet, and I just went over that. It's the same thing as 23, whichever way is easier for you. What wildcard masks are they're the inverse of a subnet mask. So when you're doing a wildcard mask in an ACL, you take the 255.255.255 subnet mask, which means all network bits are turned on, and you take the subnet mask that is assigned to an IP address and you subtract it from the all 255 subnet mask. So for this example, whatever IP address you had, it had a subnet mask of 255.255.255.240. So you subtract that from the all 255 subnet mask and it leaves you with 000.15. So what this means, like I said, is the first three bits in the IP address that matches up will either be denied or permitted to a network, whichever statement that you configure. This 15 doesn't really matter as long as the first three bits match up in the IP address. They will match up with the IP address that you configure in the ACL. ACLs are the packet filters of a network. You can either deny or permit traffic to be exposed to another network. You just must simply understand how traffic is flowing over your network because you don't want to misconfigure anything and disallow something that you want your department in the company to be exposed to, whether it's to other parts of the company you don't want the departments to be exposed to. So it's very important that you understand how your traffic is flowing across your network so you don't misconfigure anything. Thank you for your time. I hope that you found this useful.